Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, people of God. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Daughters of Hadessah. Today, let's conversate, let's talk about the unnamed slave girl of Naaman's wife, to be exact. We all know the story of Naaman, 2 Kings chapter 5, where Naaman was a leper. In Naaman being a leper, he was in a high ranking position. He was a man of valor. He was powerful. When he went to war, he slaughtered. He was a soldier. He was a trooper. He was on the front lines. He was a powerful leader of an army. But Naaman, as strong as he was, as powerful as he was, his reputation, his position, Naaman was a leper. And having leprosy was his weakness. It was the thing that he had no power over, the thing that he could not control, the thing that was killing him was leprosy. Naaman went into Israel during a battle and conquered Israel and brought back the spoils to Syria. In him bringing back the spoils, he also brought back an unnamed slave girl. This unnamed slave girl, we don't know how old she was. You already know we don't know her name. We don't know who her parents are. We don't know any history except the fact that this unnamed slave girl was a child of God. And being where she was, she found favor enough to be able to have a conversation with her master's wife. Now, we don't know the relationship or whether they were good people who treated this slave girl well, or whether the slave girl was just in good spirits being a child of God, that she was not focused on where she was, but remembered who she was and who she belonged to. And because she was a child of God, she was willing to share with her master who her God was, what he was able to do. Oh, I wish that my master could go to Israel and see a prophet who could heal him. Now, she could have been bitter. She could have been caught up in her feelings. You brought me here. I didn't volunteer to come here. You snatched me out of my country. And you have leprosy. Good, you got leprosy. You should have leprosy after the way you killed my people, snatched my people. This, that, and the other brought me here unwillingly. She could have been bitter in her spirit. But instead, she chose to let her light shine and to tell this man who snatched her from her homeland, took her into captivity, brought her into his house, whether he treat her good or bad, she was still in a place, and she still took the opportunity to put into the right ear a word. Oh, that I wish my master could go to Israel and see this prophet. He'd heal him from his leprosy. This young woman teaches us great principles as Christian. No matter where we are, what our circumstances are, we should always point Jesus to whoever needs him. We should always share our faith, share our belief. If we know the answer to a problem, why not share it? If you know a scripture for healing, but you don't want to tell somebody because they don't treat you the way that you think that you should be treated, instead of you seeing that it's not about you, but it's about the God in you, the God that you know. I'm quite sure this young lady wasn't caught up in the fact that, oh, not tell him about going to Israel, he may go and make a slave out of the prophet. No, she knew that this man would get his healing. Now, she didn't know whether he was going to obey. She didn't know if he was going to follow up on the advice. She didn't know what the outcome was going to be. And she wasn't biased, prejudiced, or held any type of bitterness or ill feelings. She shared what she knew, regardless to whether he was treating her well or not. We don't know. The Bible, when you read it, it seems like she was in a good place with her mistress and her master, which was Naaman. She had a good relationship with them where she could conversate and share things. But who's to say? We don't know. We weren't there. But I say all of that to say, we have people around us on our jobs, in our homes, in our environment, in our neighborhoods, in our communities, in our churches, because we don't like the way they treat us, or because we don't think that they should get to know something that we know, or we don't think that we should share because they're not going to get it. It's not going to do any good. They're still going to be in the same situation where they are. That's not being light where you are. This young lady was light. She wasn't even in her own country. She was in a foreign land in Syria. But she was still light in a dark place where Naaman and his family saw a hopeless situation. He's going to die. He's going to die of leprosy. No matter how great of a soldier, no matter how great of a warrior, no matter how great of a fighter, no matter how many victories he has under his belt, he's going to die. But this young, virgin, unnamed slave girl had hope in the middle of a hopeless situation. That's powerful. She had hope where there was no hope. We see people in their situations, men laying on church stairs, homeless, and women too, homeless people. We don't see no hope in them. Drug dealers, we don't see no hope in them. We see people out on the street corners. We see people getting drunk every single day, alcoholics. We don't see no hope. But this young lady saw a flesh-eating disease on her master, and she didn't give up hope in him being healed. She shared her God, how to get to him, how to get what you need, where to go to get the healing that you need. What about us? Are we sharing with people who are broken, battered, scarred, wounded, in pain, have lost hope? What are we sharing with them? Are we sharing our God, or are we being judgmental and seeing where they are and not seeing hope, or giving hope, or telling them and leaving it up to them to choose? Rather, they're going to go to Israel. They're going to go to Jesus. They're going to get to the place where healing is. Now, Naaman went to Israel, found Elijah, and tried to give Elijah something to pay him for the service that he wanted rendered in healing. And Elijah wouldn't take it. This is off into another whole story. But the point is that because of the slave girl, the Naaman stepped out in faith, went to Israel, saw the prophet, obeyed the prophet, got his healing, and came back home different from the way that he left out. He left Syria a leper, but he came back whole because of the slave girl who chose to share her faith. How deep is that? This is Daughters of Hadessah. Think about your life. Let your light shine. Be light in the world, salt in the earth. Have a blessed and prosperous day.